Greetings YouTube, my name is Brian and you are watching another episode of Food and Sciencey Stuff. In this episode we will be talking about macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The nutrients which make up the calories that fuel our bodies and provide energy for us. Now, if you haven't checked out my previous video in this web series, I explain what calories are and how I easily keep track of them on a day-to-day basis. Let me begin by noting that everyone's body is different. As such, it stands to reason that because of these differences, it only makes sense that what helps one person achieve a balanced and healthy diet might look very different for someone else. That being said, I encourage you to try different ratios of these macronutrients and stick with a certain diet long enough to see if it's leading you towards your goal. Physical changes in our bodies don't usually happen overnight, and whether you're someone who is trying to put on weight or lose weight, it is important to note that your body needs enough time to acclimate to a new diet before changes start happening. I recommend giving any change in your diet at least 2 weeks, preferably a month, before you make the call on whether or not it is benefiting you. Carbohydrates. Carbs are the body's primary source of energy for our everyday activities. Carbohydrates range from everyday simple table sugar to the more complex starchy carbs such as potatoes, pasta, and that sad tub of almost tasteless oatmeal you've had since last year. When carbohydrates are consumed, they are broken down in the body as this stuff called glucose and then converted into usable energy through a process called glycolysis. While these fancy sciencey words might sound like Klingon, what you should take from this is that carbs turn into energy, and the more complex starchy carbs and fibrous carbs take longer for the body to break down and thus provide a longer, more steady source of energy during the day than simpler sugars like candy and soda. It should come as no surprise then that sugary foods are often attributed with gaining fat or causing a surge of energy followed by a crash soon after. They simply give the body too much easy energy too fast. The body doesn't know what to do, then it stores it all as excess fat. Protein. Proteins are not only responsible for repairing and building new muscle tissue broken down during exercise, but serve numerous other functions as well. For example, enzymes, which help speed up chemical reactions in the body, are also proteins. It goes without saying then that without protein, you're probably not going to feel very good. So how much protein should an individual consume on a daily basis? For people who exercise regularly and implement the use of resistance training, it is recommended that they consume 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So, if I weigh 175 pounds and I go to the gym and lift weights regularly, I should consume 140 to 175 grams of protein per day to help repair and build up broken down muscle fibers. That being said, which types of proteins should one consume? This brings into light the long-standing intergalactic war between plant protein versus animal protein. Which side should you choose? Which is really the better choice? Unfortunately, there are no clear-cut, universal, definitive answers to this question. Both types of proteins have their benefits and drawbacks. Let's start with animal protein. Probably the biggest benefit to eating animal protein is that it contains complete proteins. What that means is that the protein in animal products contains all 20 of the amino acids our bodies need. Amino acids can best be described as protein building blocks, the stuff that makes up the proteins. Since animal protein is a complete protein source, it is similar to the stuff our bodies are already made of and easily recognizable by our bodies to use the protein efficiently. The downside to animal protein is that consuming too much, like red meat for example, shows a positive correlation with illnesses such as heart disease or an increase in bad cholesterol. Plant protein, on the other hand, is often associated with a decrease in these types of diseases in correlational studies. Not to mention, plants tend to have lots of fiber and minerals that help aid in digestion and absorption. The downside of plant protein, however, is that it is more difficult to find a complete protein source among plant products. That doesn't mean that there aren't any complete protein sources among plants, just that they are more limited than animal proteins. Given that my body doesn't have any aversion to or problems digesting animal proteins, I've made the conscious choice to get most of my protein from animal sources. This isn't to say, however, that I don't enjoy some well-made tofu or quinoa recipes as well in my diet. Fats. If you want to be skinny, don't eat any fat, right? Easy. Unfortunately, this couldn't be further from the truth. Did you know that your brain is made up of around 60% fat? That's right. Our brains are fatties. Fats are not only important in a diet, they are essential. They provide an alternate source of energy for the body, as well as help regulate mood and brain function. Most people recognize olive oil as a health food, and if you look at the nutrition facts on a bottle of olive oil, you'll notice that it's basically all fat. If you take a closer look, you'll see that most of this fat is primarily types of fats called monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fat. These are the fats which are most often considered to be the good fats. Saturated fat is usually considered to be a bad fat, but is important in moderation. While trans fat is basically the Frankenstein monster of fat. It's like a whole bunch of fats that have been taken apart and reassembled to create some sort of globular lipid monster that your body has no idea what to do with, so it just hides it away in your hips, thighs, and stomach. I hope this video has been useful to you in creating a well-rounded, healthy lifestyle diet that fits your personal needs. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos about health, lifestyle, fitness, and other shenanigans. As always, make sure to consult your doctor before starting any new diet or exercise program. Thanks again for watching and have a beautiful day.